Hey everyone, welcome to Youth Focus, Oakland's Future, where we give youth a voice. I'm your host, Jonathan Piper II, and I am a sophomore at Skyline High School. Our special guest tonight is the first female chief of the Oakland Police Department, Ms. Ann Kirkpatrick. Stay tuned for a very special edition of Youth Focus. Good evening, Ms. Kirkpatrick. Welcome to Youth Focus. I would like to start off by asking, how was your transition into Oakland, and what was your first impressions of the city and the state of the Oakland Police Department?
Well, Jonathan, thanks for having me. I am absolutely delighted to be here and to meet our future, the youth of Oakland. And so my transition's been great. I've been so excited to come to Oakland. Everybody has been welcoming to me, and like you, and like y'all. So thank you for having me.
As you can see, we've assembled a panel of youth all around Oakland, and we have some concerns about the safety of Oakland. And our first question comes from Hanna Robertson.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Hanna Robertson. I am a junior at Skyline High School, and I was wondering, what was the hardest part about taking this position after so many resignations of Oakland police chiefs? And what qualities and experiences do you bring that other police chiefs have not?
Well, that's an excellent question. And I do know that safety is a grave concern for Oakland. And one of my main missions that I've been given by the City Council and by our mayor is that to reduce crime in this city. People need to feel safe here and to indeed be safe. Oakland has been traditionally and historically a city known for a great deal of crime and violence. And we're going to change that. So when you ask me about why me and coming to Oakland, we as an Oakland Police Department also have a rich history. Most of it, I would say, excellent. But have we had some challenges? Yes. And I will tell you that the Oakland police officers and the department, we were ready to put some of those challenges and sad events behind us. We're ready to move forward. And so why me? You know, you asked that, what is my experience? I think a couple of things that why I think I'm a fit and my experience is that I've been around for almost 35 years. I'm a very senior officer. I also am a woman and a person who at heart loves people. I just love y'all. And I think that when you have police officers, and I represent most of us, and you just don't know that. And so I think I'm a fit because I have the heart of a peacemaker. I have the love of people, and I want to serve you. And I just simply am representing the voice of the rest of these officers you just don't know yet. So that's what I bring to the table.
Thank you. Our next panelist is Sylvia.
Hi, my name's Sylvia Lacayo, and I'm so excited to be here. I'm a sophomore at Skyline High School. Unfortunately, the police tend to be viewed negatively by teens and young adults in the Bay Area. How do you plan on repairing this relationship?
Well, I think teens don't, I think it's probably not only even the Bay Area. I think it is universal. I think it's throughout the United States. I know when I was a teen, I didn't grow up wanting to be a police officer. I didn't know any police officers. The only ones I knew were the ones who gave me a ticket for speeding. So those were the only officers I knew. I think that because officers do serve in the role of enforcement, that is a normal kind of barrier that I think people who are the youth see us in that role. And usually our encounters are along the lines of enforcement. So I think that although that is a part of the nature of our work, we are in the business, if you will, of serving, but a part of service is also enforcing and regulating behavior. And I think the way we bridge that gap is having truly mutual respect and understanding each other's roles. And a lot of it is communicating well. And I also do desire that officers are seen as not just enforcers, that we are first and foremost guardians and that we will be the warrior when we are called to be the warrior. But that's the secondary role. So when we get that understanding going, I think we bridge those relationships.
Thank you. Our next panelist is Chris.
Hello, I'm Chris Enriquez. I'm a sophomore at Oakland High, and my question is, what is the policy of the City of Oakland and the police in federal immigration laws, and regard to deportation and Oakland being a sanctuary city?
Yes, excellent question, Chris. And I know it's one of the most primary and important questions that all of you have. So I appreciate that you asked it. So let me be clear with y'all about our role and this issue of deportation. First of all, just to lay some foundation, immigration law and issues associated with deportation, number one, are federal. And number two, they are, when you hear the word illegal, it is illegal only in terms of civil law that is broken. It has nothing to do with a crime. But unfortunately, when we hear the word illegal, we immediately think of crime. They're not one and the same. So back to the question about it being federal law, we as police officers in Oakland, as well as all police officers, we are only, our arrest authority, our police powers are limited to local law and state law. So we have no authority to deal with federal law. And a lot of people don't know the difference. They equate us as one and the same. So let me take it now down to the real simple approach to it. No Oakland police officer will ask anyone what their documented status is. We don't know. We don't care. We will not be asking anyone about your documented, your status. We need that word out. We need the community to understand we do not enforce deportation law. We have no authority to enforce it, either because it's federal and or because it is civil. And we only enforce criminal laws, and it's not a crime to be an undocumented person in this country. It's not a crime, folks, and we need to let people know that.
Thanks. That was very insightful. And our next question comes from our panelist, Stephanie.
Hi, Stephanie.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Gutierrez, and I hope your evening has been going well.
Thank you.
In an interview in 2006, you praised broken window policing in New York City.
Yeah.
Do you plan to continue and implement this type of policing in Oakland? It has been proven to be similar to stop and frisk and a way to harass people of color. If you do, how do you think it will make Oakland safer?
I really appreciate as well that you have addressed that. So let me put that also in perspective and in context. Broken windows theory is a theory that was applied in the state or in New York. And I am an advocate of broken windows in a very limited way and not in the way that you understand broken windows. So let me give you what I mean by that. When we know that people are, let's take illegal dumping. All the trash on the street. That is a sign of a broken window. Okay, so I am an advocate of broken windows in terms of when you see blight, such as illegal dumping, then I think everybody would agree that needs to be cleaned up. That's my advocacy. I believe in the application of that. So let's say you're in a neighborhood where there's a lot of crime going on and the street lights are burned out. To me, it is a broken window. You fix the street light so that you improve safety. I do not believe in broken windows in terms of the approach of always enforcing very minor crime. Okay? So there's a distinction between the two. And again, I appreciate your asking me the question because in 2006, I was very broad when I said I support broken windows. I did not choose at that time, nor did I think at that time, that I needed to qualify so people could understand that there are two different avenues, and I'm only on this avenue, not that avenue. So thank you.
Thank you. Last fall, during the hiring process for your position, the mayor's office asked the youth what qualities they would like to see in the new police chief, and this is what they had to say.
Great.
I want the new police chief to care about the community.
They should be passionate about helping the people.
We should put out positivity.
Be patient with the people and also being understanding of what's going on.
We need to make sure this police chief hires more Oakland police officers that are from Oakland.
The new police chief, I think you should be woke. You should know about your community. You should know the people. And most importantly, you should respect them and you should take care of them.
If the police show change, then maybe the community will change their perspective on how they're looking at them.
As a police officer, you should get to know the community that you're around. If they knew us as a community, it would be a better bond between police and the community.
I think the police chief should come from Oakland because they should understand what we've been going through rather than somebody who's a stranger.
I feel like he or she should be more diverse and more street knowledge of what's going on in Oakland.
If you're showing us that you're not going to let anybody do anything to us, even your colleagues, instead of covering their butts, we'll feel more willing to cooperate with you and to talk to you and work with you and maybe even help you out. Just let us know that you care about us.
We heard from dozens of youth, and something that was commonly said was that the young people wanted a chief who was from the community and understood what was going on in Oakland. So you're not from Oakland yourself, but what are some qualities that you bring to the table that can help connect with this community?
Well, I'm all those things that you said you wanted. I am someone who cares about this community. I'm someone who cares about you. And I think that I'm genuine and authentic and that you can see that. So I have chosen to make my home in Oakland. I don't live outside of Oakland, and I live right in the downtown core of Oakland. So I do think that there are pluses and minuses when you're an outsider. There are the thing about being an outsider, and I've been an outsider most all of my career, so I do understand that a community wants someone who's going to embrace the community. The positives are, though, that I come with fresh eyes. And those are the positives of being an outsider. I also, because I don't know anybody in Oakland and I don't know anybody in the police department, I don't have biases. I don't have relationships. And so I can make decisions that are not going to be impacted because you're a friend of mine or not a friend. Not that I don't want to have collegial relationships in the police department, but I don't come with the history or I don't owe anybody anything. And so there are some real positives about being that outside person, and I have chosen to totally immerse myself in this community because, frankly, I want to be here. And I ran hard to get this job and to be your chief. And I see all the potential of this city and you and this police department.
So do you think that the OPD should hire more officers that are from Oakland? And if so, if so, what are some things that the OPD are doing to increase the number of officers that are from this community?
Well, I'm glad you asked because I heard that remark from y'all's feedback about what you were looking for in a chief, and one of the youth said they didn't think we should be hiring officers from Oakland, and there's a divided opinion. A lot of people want us to be hiring more Oaklanders. What I'm looking for is that you love the community you serve. And I do think there's a real plus to be from Oakland. And I would like to encourage Oaklanders to want to be a part of their police department. But the first and foremost quality I'm looking for is that you are devoted and loyal to the community, whether or not you're from Oakland. That's the most important thing. I'm recruiting, though. So, y'all I'm recruiting.
Thanks. Our next panelist is Ozma.
Okay. Hi, my name is Asma. I'm a freshman at Mouse High School. My question is, since in 2000, 90 people have been killed in Oakland by law enforcement, as a chief of police, do you have a plan to train police officers in de-escalation tactics?
Oh, excellent question. The Oakland Police Department is like many police departments now around the country, where they have already, every officer of the Oakland Police Department, as well as the professional staff. And when I use the word professional staff, we're talking about those members of our department who are not sworn. They're not police officers, but they're as much a part of our department and our team. So every single one of them have already gone through de-escalation training. And as a result of that, last year alone, Oakland Police experienced a 70% drop in the use of force. So you are seeing already huge impacts, not only in Oakland, but around the country.
Thank you. And our next panelist with questions is Luz.
Hi, my name is Luz Morales. I'm a junior at Fremont High. I live in the Fruitvale community, and my question is, what are your plans to protect teenagers from human trafficking?
Yeah.
And how can the community trust the OPD on this issue due to the sex scandal from last year?
Yeah. It is, don't shy away. I'm going to talk about the sex scandal from last year. Don't shy away that was an event that occurred. It was a horrible event. We own it. We admit to that, and we are sorry for it. Okay? With respect to those who were involved in that sex scandal, they are no longer a part of the Oakland Police Department. And that was even before I came. So I'm also here to deliver a message that is important for you to know, as well as our community. And that is, out of the 700, well, there are actually 1,264 members of the Oakland Police Department. That involved, in the scale, a core group. I am here to tell you that you have 1,250 members of that department who are just as put out by that event as the community rightfully is. That is not who we are. That is not what we want to be known for. And I am here to tell you that I'm simply the voice of who they are. They are as upset by that event as you are. Okay? Does it break trust? Yes. So we are going to do everything we can to reestablish that trust. And one of those ways is by merely being here today. It is relationship building. It's hearing from you, engaging in conversation, taking your questions. So now let's talk about sex trafficking. It is a great concern that we have in Oakland. And as the police department last week, I announced the 7 major goals that our police department would be focused on. Of those 7 major goals, the sex trafficking is one of those 7. So what we do as a police department is that we want to make sure that those who prey on our vulnerable are dealt with, that they are arrested, that they are charged. But those who are caught in the world of sex trafficking, we are not interested in charging you with crimes. We see you as suffering, as being victims. And so we provide services right at the time that we encounter you, trying to offer you opportunities to break away. That's what we are all about. We are going to be a compassionate police department, and they are already practicing those principles. Okay? Thank you for asking the question.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Our next panelist is Barnabas.
So my name is Barnabas DeFeer, as Jonathan said. I am a sophomore at Skyline, and I have some questions. What is your stance on the homeless encampments that sprung up all around Oakland? And how does the city plan to provide services to the homeless while protecting its public safety?
Yes, it is. Thanks again. The question about homelessness, it is a very big concern, not only for the police department, but for the city. And the city has many different services. You know, they have Public Works and that Department of Transportation and so forth. It is not a first position of police officers to do enforcement because it's not a crime to be homeless. We do, if there are events of crimes, then yes, that's our calling and our duty to deal with that. But our first position in it is to work alongside our Human Services Division. So we are assigning a team of officers who are especially have a heart for dealing with those who suffer from mental illness. And so we really kind of approach it from a public health concern versus a police concern. It is a big topic right now within the police department and within the city, and I just came from a 3-hour meeting earlier today on this topic. So it's a serious thing, but I again, like human trafficking, sex trafficking, we want to be a department that shows compassionate policing.
Thank you. So as Americans protest police violence against people of color, what is your opinion on the Black Lives Matter movement, and what race sensitivity training do your officers have to undergo?
Well, I want to make it real clear to everyone that under this police department, we serve everyone equally, absolutely equally. And so we, as well, like we were talking about the de-escalation training, we have also, every single member of our department have been trained in the concepts of procedural justice, which is how to engage people in a just and a fair, equal way. And so we are spending a lot of time internally looking at making sure that everyone knows that they are served equally. And so that's our position in it.
And now, Chief Kirkpatrick, do you have any questions or comments for our youth?
Yes, I think I do. I want to know, do any of you have a heart of service in the arena of law enforcement? Dispatching, records, police. We have many different services. Are any of y'all interested? Not yet? Well, I'm coming after you. Do y'all think that you could give us a chance? Are you prepared to start in that reset of building relationship? Would you give us a chance?
Absolutely.
Okay, that's important to me because I want it, and I'm going to ask for it. I want you to love us, and I want us to love you. Okay?
Unfortunately, our time is up. Chief Kirkpatrick, thank you so much for joining us, and we hope that you will come back again. And thank you to our panelists for joining us and representing the youth of Oakland. And most importantly, thank you for watching us here on KDOL. Good night.